Just a quick heads up here before we get into Kyrie Irving and his decision to not take the vaccine. I just want to say this real quick. You know, the NBA season is close. I'm not 100% sure how much preseason action I'll be doing in regards to posting the highlights in the morning. But obviously, y'all know once the regular season starts in about a couple weeks here, y'all know I'm going to be all on top of it. So just make sure you stay locked and loaded around October 15th, 16th for sure. Night-to-night highlights. We'll be right back where we left off last year, going after it. Let me tell y'all something, man. Behind the scenes, I've been working on like some graphics and stuff like that with some very talented people. I cannot wait to deliver this product to you guys. I truly believe, and y'all know, I'm not somebody that comes on this platform and lies to y'all. I try my best not to, at least. I think I have the best platform coming of anybody who's not in the network. Like, this is just me. This is all me, y'all. This is all me night to night. I have an incredible platform coming to you guys, and I cannot wait for y'all to see some of the cool new graphics that we got, new transitions, new quarters. It's incredible. Like, I'm super excited and proud of what we've been able to accomplish, and this is where I've been putting my money at, y'all. So stay tuned for that. Now let's get right into Kyrie Irving and his decision to not take the vaccine. It's one of the biggest stories in the NBA. You know what's funny? There's rarely a time where Kyrie Irving isn't one of the biggest stories in the NBA. You know, whether it's him playing or not playing, his decisions to play, whatever, his injury status. Usually Kyrie Irving, for good or for bad, is in the news in some kind of way. Now, Kyrie Irving, as of right now, has not been vaccinated. He had to do media day via Zoom calls while his other Brooklyn Nets teammates were in the Barclays, answering questions, getting acclimated with new teammates and all that good stuff. And the question marks remain, will Kyrie Irving get vaccinated? And I want to break this down to you guys. People love when I break it down to them. Here's the situation. The NBA cannot put out a mandate that says you cannot play if you're not vaccinated, right? At least not until they redo the collective bargaining agreement. Again, COVID happened after the last agreement was made. So the NBA can't flat-foot say you cannot play basketball if you don't get vaccinated. But here's what's happening. There are cities within the NBA and cities within the United States in the bigger picture that have put out local mandates. Yo, you can't work here if you're not vaccinated. And ironically, this is so ironic to me, 3 of the teams that reside in cities that you cannot play if you're not vaccinated in, it just so happen to be San Francisco and the 2 New York teams. So the New York Knicks, the Golden State Warriors, and the Brooklyn Nets. So Kyrie Irving, if he doesn't decide to get vaccinated, will not be eligible to play in the Brooklyn Nets 41 home games this year. It's actually funny. He would be better off if he didn't play for Brooklyn. He'd have a better chance of playing in Brooklyn if he played for another team, not name the Warriors or the Knicks, right? You can actually play on it's like an exemption of some sort. Don't quote me on that, but I know this for a fact. Like, let's say the LeBron James-led Lakers come to Brooklyn, but LeBron wasn't vaccinated. And LeBron is vaccinated, by the way, but let's just say LeBron wasn't vaccinated for the sake of this argument. LeBron can actually get an exemption to play in Brooklyn on a one-off, right? Kyrie, because he's an employee that works within the Brooklyn Nets, cannot. He will not be eligible to play basketball for the Brooklyn Nets in any of their 41 home games if he does not decide to get vaccinated. Now, I did watch Kyrie Irving's media day. Please follow me on Instagram at FERRO. We posted a little bit of it there. Kyrie has not said that he for sure won't get vaccinated. He's just obviously remained hesitant about the vaccination, and I don't think anything's wrong about having your hesitancies about the vaccination and all that, especially if you have real reason. We'll talk about Andrew Wiggins in my next video, but for Kyrie, he hadn't gotten vaccinated yet, and if he doesn't change his stance, he won't be playing basketball. Now, I want to be clear with you guys. I am vaccinated. I don't want to have a long, thought-out vaccination conversation. I don't want to do that on this platform, but let's make a short conversation about it. If you're asking me, personally, this is my opinion. I don't know nothing about nothing. If you're asking me, do I believe there is a real reason behind Kyrie Irving not being vaccinated, I will tell y'all no. I don't believe that one bit. I believe Kyrie Irving is trying to do what he continues to do, stir things up. Yo, if you have been a subscriber to this platform over the last 3-4 years, I have been telling y'all this stuff over and over again. I don't believe Kyrie Irving wants to play basketball too much longer. Like, if he could just walk into the gym, 82 nights a year and just play basketball. No media, no nothing, no brand, no nothing. He would obviously love his job, like a lot of athletes would. But that's not the job. Like this, you don't play in the T-Rec. Like you're not getting paid millions of dollars to play basketball at Duke University's T-Rec. You're a $200 million guy for a reason. You're incredible talents, number one, but also playing in a league that generates profits. They're filling up arenas here. It's not about just Kyrie Irving. If you want to go play basketball at the Y, go play basketball at the Y. You won't make millions of dollars to do it, but that's what Kyrie ideally would love. None of the access that comes with it. But you have to understand, the access is the reason why fans are invested in the game. You understand me? So Kyrie Irving, I believe, wants to stir up mess with the NBA because he doesn't love his job. I truly believe that. If you look back at recent things that happened in Kyrie Irving's life, you know, when you talk about somebody who said he doesn't want to play past his next contract, he said he doesn't see himself playing basketball past the age of 33, 34, 35. He's also, remember, the bubble a couple seasons ago. Remember, Kyrie Irving was one of the people who was saying, yo, I don't think we should be playing basketball right now. That was fine. Obviously, in the midst of our country, George Floyd was a big deal. But when we realized, wait a minute, Kyrie, you're injured. You're out. You wouldn't even be joining your Brooklyn Nets team in the bubble. Why the hell are you speaking on this? And then you also realized there were reports behind the scenes. One was from Matt Barnes, who's a very plugged-in athlete, got one of the biggest basketball platforms out there, Smoke Podcast, when Matt Barnes said he heard that the reason why Kyrie Irving didn't want the NBA to go to the bubble was because he was told he wouldn't be invited to the bubble because he wasn't playing ball anyway, and the NBA was not trying to have people who wouldn't be a part of their team on the court there. They were trying to cut down as many access as they could, like that, cut that fat off, right? As many people that wouldn't be playing basketball, they were trying to cut it down, and Kyrie wasn't going to be playing, and apparently out of spite, he was trying to stop the NBA from happening. He was one of the voices that got on the phone calls with a lot of NBA players, quote-unquote, voicing his concerns about playing ball. I'm just saying we have a track record of Kyrie Irving preaching the good fight, but to me being hypocritical in all stances. To me, he don't treat people right, but he's going under this leaf of let's treat everybody right and love. I don't see him do that day in, day out. All I see him do is throw teammates under the bus, throw former teammates under the bus. I don't see this good person that everybody else sees. I actually do think the brother has good in him, but I don't see that consistently. A lot of hypocrisies in Kyrie's approach. So if you're asking me, and I don't know nothing about nothing again, is Kyrie Irving genuinely locked in on not taking the vaccine because of real health concerns? I don't believe that one bit. The same doctors that have told Kyrie Irving about, taking the vaccine and how beneficial it can be to not just you, but the greater good of getting back to normalcy in this country are the same doctors that you allowed to work on your knees. So these doctors were good enough to put you to sleep and work on your knees with all the injuries that you've had over the years, whatever injuries you've had, the surgeries that you've had, multiple ones for Kyrie Irving. But now you don't trust those doctors. Just because you go on Reddit and YouTube and watch conspiracy theories all day, that don't mean you're an expert. You're not smart. If that's where you get your information from, more times than not, you're not smart, bro. All these conspiracy theories out there, I don't communicate with conspiracy theory people. I don't waste my time in that mess. I don't. There's a lot of that conspiracy theory junk is based off of hatred and not doing what you were supposed to do when you had opportunities in life. That's where a lot of that mess comes from. So now let's fast forward. If Kyrie Irving's not going to be available for 41 games at least with the Brooklyn Nets, their home games, what do the Brooklyn Nets do? Do you keep this man on the roster or do you trade him? Here's the thing. Kyrie Irving's trade value is not as high as you would think it would be for an all-star in this league, an incredible talent, one of the best 5 point guards we got in the league. I'll never take anything away from Kyrie on the court. But his stock ain't that high. Teams don't believe they would get a focused Kyrie if they traded for him. So teams are not interested in trading for him. What is his value? You're going to really give away $30, $40 million to a guy who may show up to work or may not? Kyrie's value is low. I'm talking about at an all-star level, like the player that he is, no one's trading for Kyrie Irving. No one. No, there is not a team out there that's going to make a trade for Kyrie. They believe with him being in Brooklyn around KD and Harden and being close to home, they believe either Kyrie plays for Brooklyn or he doesn't play basketball at all. So the Nets are stuck. Thank goodness they got James Harden last year. I told y'all then, I said, look, I thought Kyrie and KD were good enough to get the Brooklyn Nets to the NBA Finals and win a championship with just those two gentlemen. I told y'all that. But I understood why the Nets went and got James Harden, because you had to do something. At the time, Kyrie was sitting out because of the Capitol riot, which doesn't make any sense to me. If you look at that, if you put that in the context of the vaccine, right? So, Kyrie, why did you sit out when people stormed the Capitol, which is a part of the government, and now you don't trust the government who's insisting on you taking the vaccine? What sense does that make? Come on, y'all. I'm not a rocket scientist. This is common stuff. All I want is consistency in people, man. That's all I want. You can get surgeries on your body. These same doctors that are doing the surgeries on you, you now don't trust them to take a vaccination? What? You can sit out because people are storming the Capitol, right? And that they're going against the government. They stormed the government. But you don't want to listen to that government. And I'm not a pro-government guy. Like, let's be clear. Like, I ain't that dude. But I'm just saying, he sat out basketball games because they stormed the Capitol. That ain't have nothing to do with us. Nothing. I'm lost by the hypocrisies in Kyrie Irving's stance. And I'm sure the Brooklyn Nets are lost right now. Because as of right now, their all-star point guard will not be available to play basketball at home. And I don't see how you build a championship roster if one of your key components doesn't play in half the season. I don't.